In this video, we're going to talk about 5 things that I love about the Panasonic GX85. Hello YouTube, my name is Ryan Timms and I am a video creator based in North Carolina. Now, I've spent about 6 months with the lovely Panasonic GX85. I really enjoy this little camera and today I wanted to share with you my top 5 favorite features to help determine if this is the right camera for you. The first thing that I like about this little camera, and the reason why I bought it, is for its 5-axis sensor stabilization. I sort of saw this as an entry-level price to try out the sensor stabilization, see if it was any good, and if it was going to work with my shooting style. I was really impressed with that in this camera and the Dual IS when combining it with the 12-35 zoom lens from Panasonic. It really gets some stunning results and really stabilizes your footage. I barely need to use any kind of stabilization in post, and it's fully usable handheld. Another thing that I really like about the GX85 is its size. It's a very small camera, and with the right compact lens, it can almost fit into a pocket, which makes it great to really take anywhere. I find myself wanting to take this with me in certain situations where I don't want to bring the GH4 or GH5 because they're too much to carry. And I'm much less obtrusive and invasive with this small camera. Another benefit to its size is that it's really easy to balance on a gimbal. I can fit a slightly bigger lens on there and it makes the whole package much lighter. So if I have a really long gimbal day, I find myself leaving this on the gimbal with the 12-35 and putting the GH4 or GH5 on stick somewhere or shooting with them somewhere else and using this on the gimbal the whole day. My third favorite thing about this camera is its amazing image quality for video. I am blown away with how close this can match my GH4 and even in some situations GH5 footage. This thing is an awesome little B camera. It does have a record limit of 30 minutes and its battery is quite small, but in a pinch this thing can really hang with those bigger cameras and match up perfectly. Recently, I had a shoot where I was covering a concert performance for a friend and I needed a lot of angles, so I used the GH4, the GX85, and the GH5 along with a GoPro Hero 5 to cover this event. Now, I'm going to play a short segment from that and let's see if you can determine which one is the GX85, which one is the cheap camera versus the expensive cameras. this is an extreme low light situation, and I know that this isn't really a very scientific test, but this is sort of a real world scenario where you might set this camera up as a B camera. And to me, yeah, you can tell the GH5 footage, and I was using the Sigma 18-35, so it was letting a lot more light in. That one's obviously much better in low light. But between the GH4 and the GX85, they're pretty similar. And for a couple $100, you can pick one of these up used on eBay. It really is an amazing value right now. The GX85 is really user-friendly, and its menus will be very familiar if you're used to a GH4 or any other Panasonic Lumix camera. But I find myself really wanting to bring this with me, and it's less invasive, but less scary to the subject. It's less intimidating. I think that people just see this more as a toy than something that really is capable of taking really beautiful 4K video and taking awesome stills. The photo capabilities of this camera are not lacking either. With its amazing 16 megapixel sensor, it's got really good low light and noise capabilities. I don't find myself as annoyed with the noise on the stills in this as I do with my GH4. Taking it out and shooting street photography or shooting some family members. Like I said, it's much less intimidating, so people sort of view it like it's a toy, and I can get away with images that I'm happy with at the end of the day, and my subjects are much more relaxed. That being said, a few things that I wish that this camera had, one being a headphone jack. I think that every camera nowadays should have a headphone jack, especially if you're gonna have a hot shoe. I would like the ability to plug in a mic. A flip out screen, this is one of those funky articulating screens. It doesn't go all the way up, it doesn't come all the way out. I really don't think that it would have taken up much room on the body here to just sort of put a hinge on the side. And I know that some of the more expensive cameras have that, but all cameras should have that kind of screen nowadays. And I wish that they could improve the battery life. It is a really tiny battery, as you can see here. But, what can you expect? This camera is so small, they're not going to be able to fit the same size battery as a GH4 or GH5 in there. I'm maybe getting, an hour worth of shooting out of it when shooting video. So it could be worse, but for something this inexpensive that you can get used for only a couple $100, it really is an incredible value and worth a look if you're in the market for a nice hybrid shooter like this. One more thing that kind of bugs me is the placement of the tripod plate. When I put my Manfrotto plate on here with a bigger lens, it sort of rubs against the bottom of the lens, which is super annoying. When I put this on a gimbal with the 12-35, the 12-35 rubs all over that plate. I can't really zoom with it. I kind of have to set it and then tighten the plate. So I wish that this were a little bit further back, or if there was just slightly more of a lift there. But I don't think that this is for someone that's using it as intensely as maybe I am. I think this is more for somebody that wants to have fun shooting, somebody that's going to take some home videos or some stuff with their friends. I don't think that it was designed to be used as a B camera, but I think that it's fully capable of doing that. So definitely keep that in mind. What do you love about the GX85 if you have one? And if you don't, what other cameras are you considering buying? Let me know in the comments below. I'd love to hear your thoughts. And if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe so that you can see all my latest videos as soon as they come out. Thanks so much, and I'll see you in the next video.